Good morning. I'm Heather Zerke. I'm General Counsel for the Cleveland Metropolitan Bar Association. Thank you for joining us this morning for the live release of the Judge for Yourself ratings for the November 2020 election. I'm so glad to be joined this morning by the co-chairs of the Judge for Yourself Coalition, Ellen Connolly and Daryl Clay. Also joined this morning by David Rohrthorn, representing the Cuyahoga Criminal Defense Lawyers Association, Tim Chai from the Asian American Bar Association of Ohio, Christine Santoni, representing the Ohio Women's Bar Association, Larry Floyd, representing the Norman S. Minor Bar Association, and John Mitchell with the Cleveland Metropolitan Bar Association. And I'm going to pass it off to Daryl Clay, who's going to open up our program. Daryl?
Good morning, and thank you all for joining us. My name is Daryl Clay, and along with retired Cleveland Municipal Court Judge and the first president of Cuyahoga County, C. Ellen Connolly, we are the co-chairs of Judge for Yourself, which is more formally known as the Judicial Candidates Ratings Coalition. Formed in 2001, Judge for Yourself is a cooperative effort of the 5 bar associations that Heather just mentioned: the Asian American Bar Association of Ohio, the Cleveland Metropolitan Bar Association, the Cuyahoga Criminal Defense Lawyers Association, the Norman S. Minor Bar Association, and the Ohio Women's Bar Association. Our goal is to help educate and inform Cuyahoga County voters regarding judicial elections that appear on their ballot. This includes judges on the Ohio Supreme Court, the 8th District Court of Appeals, the Cuyahoga County Common Pleas Court, including its General Division, Juvenile Division, and Domestic Relations Division, the Cuyahoga County Probate Court, and the various municipal courts in Cuyahoga County. Ours is the voice of the practicing lawyer who every day appears in front of incumbent judges and interacts with lawyers seeking to become a judge. In November, Cuyahoga County voters will be able to cast a ballot in several contested races on the Ohio Supreme Court, the 8th District Court of Appeal, and the Cuyahoga County Common Pleas Court. Today, we're releasing our ratings in those contested races, and they're available on our website, www.judge4yourself.com. I'd like to now turn over to Ellen, who will discuss a little bit about our rating scale and the criteria that we use to issue those ratings. Ellen?
Thank you, Daryl. The Judge for Yourself committee went through a great deal of effort and conversation, literally hours of discussion as to what scales we would use. And we judge our candidates based on 4 criteria: diligence, integrity, temperament, demeanor, and competence for the position. So for instance, if you're running for one of the specialized courts, we delve deeper into your experience, right? Like juvenile or domestic relations. And diligence, your work ethic, temperament, what kind of a person that you have been in terms of dealing with other lawyers, or if you've been in a quasi-judicial position or a prior judicial position, and of course, integrity. And then we rate the candidates after they have submitted an application and then been interviewed by the various bar associations, which was an all-day process. We started, I think, around 7:30 in the morning and finished about 5 o'clock in the evening, doing all the candidates in one day. And then we rate the candidates according to 4 criteria: excellent, good, adequate, and not recommended. So there had been discussions about our process. We did a thorough reevaluation, and I'm completely satisfied that this process is fair and impartial to all of those who came before the committee.
Hi, good morning. My name is John Mitchell. One of the questions that I often get as the chair of the Judicial Ratings Committee for the Cleveland Metropolitan Bar Association is, how do we get to those ratings? Well, I think Daryl, when he called us the voice of the lawyers who practice in those courts, really underscores the commitment that the participating members have finding the best jurists for the citizens of Cuyahoga County. And simply put, how we get to those ratings are the fair process and the objective criteria that Judge Connolly described moments ago are put in the hands of the accomplished attorneys in this community who spent many years practicing in the courts in which they are now being asked to evaluate prospective candidates. And simply put, when we've created these committees, we've sought the assistance and the input of the most experienced attorneys we can find to make sure that we're getting honest and thoughtful criteria and feedback about the candidates who are coming in front of us. So how we get to the ratings consists of an application of the experience, the knowledge, and the day-to-day practitioners in those courts being fused with the objective criteria described by Judge Connolly, so that we can rank each on their satisfaction, or excuse me, on their ability to serve as a jurist in this community.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Christine Santoni, and I'm the co-chair of the Coalition from the Ohio Women's Bar Association. From my perspective, the question I get asked often is, who are our members and what training do our members receive in order to provide appropriate ratings of the candidates as were submitted to you this morning? Our members are from 5 cooperating bar associations who've been identified, and we have members in our chat this morning. But from a smaller perspective, we do have what we believe to be a wonderful cross-section of lawyers in the community, coming from different cultural backgrounds and coming from different lawyering backgrounds, meaning we have members from large firms, small firms, in-house counsel, and we also have members that come from government positions or working in different capacities. And it's with that diverse group of lawyers we think we can bring a perspective and to our evaluation process. As relates to training, we have implemented a required 3-hour training for all of our members before the interviews go forward. A portion of that training relates to our processes so that each of our members understand what the process is, how we expect them to act in their questioning and in their interpretation of the information that's provided. And then a second part of the process, which was implemented in the past year, is an 1.5 hour training on implicit bias, which we have taken as an important part of our process to make sure that all of our members are understand the potential of implicit bias and how to respond to that when you are interviewing the candidates. We believe the combination of the candidates and the training, again, as John described, helps us provide the most appropriate evaluation and ratings of the candidates in front of us.
Thank you, Chris. David Rohrthorn, I'm co-chair of the committee from the Cuyahoga Criminal Defense Lawyers Association. I have the easiest topic of the bunch. The only thing that has changed with respect to the interview process is, instead of doing it live in a huge room with a huge number of participants, we had to do it this year by Zoom for obvious reasons. We had to make the same adjustments that basically every other organization has had to make. And both Heather and Carrie have done an incredibly good job of setting that up and making it possible for us to even do this. Because when the virus hit, we obviously couldn't do it live anymore. The criteria is the same, the dynamics are the same, the intentions, purposes, and plans are all the same. The only difference is we do it by Zoom instead of in a live interview. And beyond that, with respect to the process, nothing else has changed. Larry?
Thanks, Dave. My name is Lawrence Floyd. I'm here on behalf of Norman S. Minor Bar Association. The thing that we want you to understand is the need for everyone to cast an intelligent vote. And part of that process is learning who the candidates are and if they line up with your set of standards. It's very important that you go out and vote for them. It's very important that you communicate to your friends and family that you are voting. and try to persuade them to vote as well. We can't tell you who to vote for, but it is important that you do come out and vote. We hope that the process that we present to you helps you in making decisions, especially about the judges who can have a direct impact on your life more than almost any other elected position there is. With that being said, we hope that these interviews and the outcomes of those interviews are helpful in you making selections as to who you vote for in November 2020.
Good morning. My name is Timothy Chai here on behalf of the Asian American Bar Association. Just want to reiterate what Daryl shared earlier this morning, that our ratings are available now on our website, Judge4Yourself.com. The 4 is a number 4. So again, that's Judge4Yourself.com. We encourage everyone to use this website as we approach election season. Feel free to take a browse. You'll have our ratings there, an explanation of how we came to our ratings, and a history and an overview of this coalition and what our goal is ultimately. So we encourage everyone to use our website. Feel free to share it with your friends, colleagues, family members. We appreciate you. Thank you.
Thanks, Tim, and thanks to everyone else this morning. I'd be remiss if I didn't also thank every single candidate who appeared before us, who had faith that, as David mentioned, we could accomplish this process via Zoom. It actually worked remarkably well. And I also want to thank each of the 60 plus members who committed the better part of a day to the Judge for Yourself members who committed the better part of a day to conducting these interviews and doing so in a respectful and professional manner. Ladies and gentlemen, when it comes to judicial elections, Cuyahoga County has a serious problem. In large numbers, our citizens just don't vote in those races. And let me give you an example. 4 years ago in the November 2016 general election, there were 26 races for judge. And in those races, on average, 48% of all voters did not cast a ballot. We'd like to see that change. Judge for Yourself exists so that voters can have a ready resource available to help learn about candidates and to make an informed decision on election day. But we recognize that we're not the only resource that voters can go to. Others exist, and let me offer you a couple. Judicial Votes Count, which is a project of Ohio Supreme Court Chief Justice Maureen O'Connor, the League of Women Voters of Ohio, the Ohio State Bar Association, the Bliss Institute of Applied Politics at the University of Akron, the Ohio News Media Association, and the Ohio Association of Broadcasters. You can also consult Cleveland.com and the Plain Dealer, which issues endorsements following personal interviews of candidates. There's the Unified Endorsement Ratings Process, which is a cooperative effort of the Cleveland branch of the NAACP, GPAC, and FinPAC. And their ratings are currently available on g-pac.org. And there's the League of Women Voters of Greater Cleveland, which we anticipate will be conducting candidate forums in judicial races later this fall. We urge Cuyahoga County voters to take advantage of these and other resources. Learn more about judicial candidates appearing on the ballot in November and vote in each and every judicial race. Again, please visit our website, www.judge4yourself.com, to see our ratings, and you can print a copy that you can take with you right into the ballot box if you're voting in person, or have available when you vote by mail. Thank you all for joining us this morning, and if there are any participants who have any questions, we'd be glad to answer those. Well, I don't see any popping up either in video windows or in chat, so I guess we will call it a day. Thank you all for being here this morning, and we look forward to successful races and good luck to each of the candidates this fall. Thank you.